Greetings, Commanders, and welcome back to the Bounty Hunter series here in Elite Dangerous. In today's episode, we're going to do some ship-based bounty hunting, going after 3 pirates that are nearby. Brain stopped working there for a second. So let's go ahead. We are in the Mandalay today. I wanted to do something different. The Cobra Mark V is great and all, but you know, sometimes you just get tired of flying the same thing. The Corsair, I find, is a little bit more annoying than I want to deal with. Because of the nose that sticks out, it makes it very difficult to fight in the way that I fight. I tend to be a pull up to the target kind of person, and realistically it needs, with the nose, the way it points out, you can't really see it, but the nose, the way it sticks out in the Corsair makes it very difficult to do that. You basically have to have the ship, you basically have to have the pips of the ship right in front of there. I don't like the leading target assist, or whatever you want to call it, when it comes to close-up fighting, which is what we're doing with our... Hold on, I gotta focus for a second. I need to get to the nav beacon. We use the frag cannons on the. It's basically pretty much all I use is the frag cannons, because they do a lot of damage, and they really mesh well with the way that I like to fight, which is up close and in your face. I'm not a big fan of the whole jousting thing that a lot of people do, which, you know, if we were doing PvP, you pretty much have to do that, because speed is life and everything. But when it comes to just fighting NPCs and stuff like that, especially when you're able to like just kind of sneak up on them and get the drop on them, it's just not, you don't need to do the jousting thing. So I prefer to get up close and personal. It's a visually much more interesting fight when you're really close to them like that, and it feels a lot more like dog fighting when you do it that way. Jousting back and forth. Okay, can we please? Oh. Okay, I mean, I'll do that. This might be our guy here. Oh yeah, he's a mission target. All right. Well, then, since that's the case, let's switch our weapons to pips, or our pips to weapons. And we'll get in behind this guy. He decided he wanted to pick a fight with me. It's probably not the smartest thing to do. Come on. That's it for his shields. Oh no. No, you don't. Try not to waste too much in the way of ammo there. Alright, well, that took care of him. I didn't even have to go find him. Let's see, this guy's in the same system that we're in there. All of these guys are in the same system, so ideally, we should be able to just hop out here, look at a couple of signal sources, and head over and grab them. So that's a much more visually interesting fight than jousting back and forth between, you know, jousting back and forth. I'm not a fan of I understand it's the, you know, the best way, but it's not the most fun way, and it's not the most visually interesting way, at least as far as I'm concerned. Your mileage may vary. I prefer to frag cannon it up and get right on top of them. That's just more fun for me. Okay, so we just got to get ourselves over to. Let's start clearing out some of these. Messages. They're starting to pile up, and I get pretty anal retentive about message management, because I'm one of those people, I can't stand having notifications. It bugs me to see notifications just kind of sitting there. I know there's some people who have like hundreds or thousands of notifications just sitting there on their screens, and it doesn't bother them in the slightest. Bugs the hell out of me. I'm super OCD about it. All right, let's see if we can get this quick drop to happen without. There we go. Get our half throttle for maximum maneuverability. Let's see if we can find our guy here. Python, it's probably him. All right, weapons. Okay, that takes care of his shields. That's why you want the incendiary rounds on at least one of your things. He's almost there. And then boom, boom, boom. That takes care of him. Switch over to engines to maximize our stuff there. We got one, like, this is going to be a super quick video because they're all in the same system, so we don't have to go through and search for anything, really. Which is the way it should be. I've complained in the past about how I hate those missions where you have to go do the scan the nav beacon, or you go into a system, you find out, oh yeah, they're not in this system, they're in another system, and you need to go talk to a dude, and then after you talk to the dude, he'll tell you where the next thing is that you need to go do. And it's like, I don't mind there being steps to the process, but I want to choose a mission that has a bunch of steps to the process so that I just do the one mission. I would love bounty hunting missions where you had to like figure out where the guy is based off of clues and stuff like that, and then the reward was commensurate with the amount of time that you would have to put into doing something like that. Like, I still want to get the same amount of money for the time that I'm putting in, or maybe even a little bit more because it's a more complex task, but I wouldn't mind more of a more bounty hunter style mission set where you actually have to track down your prey and figure all that out, but then the reward at the end is worth, if it takes you 3 or 4 times longer to get that kind of mission done, then I want the reward to be 3 or 4 times more so that it compensates you for the time you're spending on it. So I'm reasonably happy when things are like this. Now we can just focus on killing the guy. Stay around behind it. We do a 2-circle fight using DCS parlance, so we can stay behind his nose, stay behind his weapons here. That takes care of his shields. Just trying to do nose to tail fighting here. I thought I had his shields down. Once they're down, they're supposed to be down. Alright, that takes care of that. So, all we have to do now is just head back to our station there. I mean, that was super quick. 7 minutes to go through and kill 3 different guys in 3 different spots in the same system. It would normally take a little bit longer if we were doing it having to go to multiple different systems, because then you have to add in additional nav beacon scans and things like that. So it's kind of nice when they just plop into the same system and you're able to just go in, take out 3 targets and be done with it. Kind of sweet. I think it would be nice if they had a ship equivalent of the Settlement Massacre kind of thing, where you just go and fight a bunch of different things. I mean, I guess the Haz-Reses are sort of like that, but I don't know. What I'm trying to get at is that when you go do the Settlement Massacres, you can set things up where you can pick things off individually, and you just you kill 20 dudes, but you can set things up where you only have to fight like 1 or 2 of them at a time, which is which makes it feasible to actually get it done by yourself. The problem with the group missions, or the take out a bunch of dudes missions, is that you either have to go to a Haz-Res and wait for your targets to spawn in, which takes a long time. The thing about the Settlement Massacre is that it's feasible to do those by yourself. It's completely reasonable to do those by yourself, and they're all in the same spot, so you basically get 20 attempts to go. You get basically 20 individual combat sessions that are all co-located right in a little spot, and it's feasible to do it by yourself, and you don't have to wait for like spawns and a bunch of other things like that to happen. So I don't know. I would like to see some kind of an equivalent for the ship-based, like a ship-based version of that, where you can go and there's a bunch of what you're looking for all right there, but they don't all swarm you at once when you start attacking them, right? Like, I'd like to see something like that. I don't know how you would do that, but it would be nice. So anyways, that's going to go ahead and do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click the like button, subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Join as a member for early access to videos, among other perks, or you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with the thanks button. I also have PayPal and Patreon links for those of you who prefer to go that route, because some people do like to go outside of YouTube to contribute to channels, so that option is there for your convenience. So again, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to come back for our next video, and I'll see you then.